message I should take to heart. While I pondered the possibilities, the dreams stopped as abruptly as they'd begun, until 4 years later, when I began working on this book and the Univision series about Jen's life. It was a sign. As worried as I had been about broaching these projects to the best of my ability and knowledge, I believe Jen would have wanted me to speak the truth in her straight-shooting, no-holds-barred fashion. The time has come for the Jen I knew to see the light of day. Besides being her close friend and manager, I wore many hats in Jen's life. I was her security, I was her advisor, I was her ride, I was her balance, I was her backup, I was her right hand, I was her sounding board, I was her brother. And given these many roles, I was intimately caught in the web of her personal issues, including problems with her kids, siblings, parents, husbands, and friends. I was there for support, damage control, or just to lend an ear and make her feel safe. There was a lot of shit going down behind closed doors. It was far from a perfect life, but Jen never felt the need to hide any of this because she knew it made her who she was. After her passing, it seemed everyone and their mother came out of the woodworks trying to become Jen's voice, trying to tell their picture-perfect version of her story, trying to apologize for her mistakes. But I know Jen, and she wasn't one to apologize. She stood her ground and didn't back down, unless she believed making amends was the right choice, because no matter how stubborn she had a huge heart and was an incredibly loyal friend. The world saw her as a force to be reckoned with, but she was actually a soft and gentle soul, and one of her deepest secrets was simply her vulnerability. Now, let me make one thing clear before we go on. This book is not intended to shame Jen's family or anyone else for that matter. I just want to clarify and explain the complexity behind Jen's life. I want you to join me in celebrating her strengths and acknowledging her weaknesses so that you can fully understand the perfectly imperfect beauty behind her magic. Jenny the Diva was not an overnight success. Her outstanding career was a product of love, tireless work, and endless battles. She demolished all the roadblocks, pummeled all the naysayers, and beat all the odds to shatter several glass ceilings and to rise to the top. That's why this book is so important to me. In reading Jen's official autobiography, one that her family finished writing for her after her death, I felt it was chock full of lipstick, but that wasn't Jen. The Jen that I knew wasn't about a lot of lipstick. She was raw and real. That's what her fans loved about her, and that's what I'm hoping to convey in these pages. It took me 4 years to share my Jen story because at first I felt an inherent need to protect her. But now I realize that her life and legacy are meant to be shared and celebrated. I have no ulterior motives. As her close friend and brother by choice, I simply want to do right by her, and if I have to take any heat, I'm ready. As ready as Jen would have been if she were here with us today. All I want is for you, the reader, the fan, the admirer, the curious onlooker, to feel and understand the ups and downs, the ins and outs, and the tears and laughs that made Jen the stellar artist and human being we all grew to know and love. It was a tough ride, but worth absolutely every second of it. May these pages bring you some sense of closure, and may they inspire you not only to keep Jenny Rivera's legacy alive and thriving, but also to accomplish your lifelong goals and dreams, no matter how difficult the journey ahead. I know that's what the Jenny I knew would have wanted for you. So taking a page from her story, don't let anyone or anything ever hold you back, and make sure to enjoy the ride. Chapter 1. The End and the Beginning.
Jenny Rivera at Jenny Rivera. Retweet at Pete Salgado. At Jenny Rivera, we about to change the game again. God has plans. August 16th, 2012. 4:12 p.m.
Jenny crouched down, sat on a parking lot wheel stop outside the hospital, and slowly looked up at me, her dark brown eyes brimming with pain and heartache, simply broken. "Are you okay?" I asked her. "Yeah, I'm fine," she said as she glanced away. "No, you can't lie to me. Your eyes always tell the truth."
Para seguir escuchando este audiolibro gratuitamente, haz clic en el enlace de la descripción y podrás escucharlo completo sin coste gracias a la prueba de 30 días de Audible.